Good morning, everyone. Let me just get set up on all our platforms. Come on in, take a seat. Just getting organized to go live in all of my platforms. So get comfy, grab your workbooks, and I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Wednesday. Hi. Hello. Come on in. Good afternoon. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to day 3. And shout out to those who did a school drop-off today in this insane weather. For those that are perhaps not from Melbourne or from Australia, it is not always blue skies and sunshine. It is literally like 5 degrees outside. I'm not coping. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of Ignite Your Self-Belief. I am so excited to have you with us. If you do not have a copy of the workbook, can you let me know ASAP so I can get you a copy? It is the pivotal point of the work that we do in this free resource. Make the most of it. If you're not making the most of the resources that you do not pay for, then you are wasting your time and your effort. So let's get started on that. Secondly, who has any questions? Who has any comments? Who has any feedback for me on the last 2 days? Has anyone had something that's resonated? Yesterday, we spoke about listening to that intuition and what does that sound like? And it can sound like, oh, that sounds like me. It doesn't have to have a voice. It doesn't have to have a sound. It could just simply be that it's a feeling. I know my intuition steers me away from people that are not in my best interests, serve the better future of me, because I get that feeling and that retreating feeling. I was having a chat with a beautiful friend of mine yesterday about this, and she feels exactly the same. So I know I'm on the right path. So everybody, welcome to everyone on Facebook, Zoom, Insta, wherever you are. Welcome to Wednesday. Thank you for being here. And I'm welcoming you into Ignite Your Self-Belief. I am Claire Burt. I am the Chief Inspiration Officer here at Inspired Lifestyles, and I help women break up with being busy so they become really passionate partners, present mums, and start living a life and creating a new legacy without the weight of expectation. I have been doing this job for a very long time, and my background is corporate. So a lot of corporate finance. So I have come from a regimented world, a very high demanding world. I've come from people management. So I've packaged all of this up. I'm also now a small business owner here in Melbourne, as well as being a women's life coach. So I've got a lot of experience. I know what I'm talking about. I've gravitated and constructed a beautiful inner circle that allowed me to do this as my job. So excited. I'm also a mum of 2 boys who almost contemplated not sending them to school today because it was too cold and raining, but I decided to send them anyway. So shout out to everyone who did a drop off in the rain, who is shivering through a really cold start to the 1st of June. Pop on in, say hi. So the title of this live is, do you captain your own ship? But what do onions have to do with tolerance and boundaries? I'm going to get to the onions part in a little bit because it really resonated with me when I spoke about this, and I spoke with someone who's close to me, and it managed to change a lot of perspective on how we give ourselves. Leads perfectly into tomorrow's session, which is our day 4, and I open up my world for Activate Your Feminine CEO, which is amazing. The doors will fling open for everybody to start applying to enter and work with me. Okay, and it is really important. Do you give until there is nothing left is the title of tomorrow's live. So very, very poignant that we talk about onions, we talk about boundaries and tolerance as we lead into what do we give until there's nothing left. But that's tomorrow. So grab your workbooks out if you have them. Let me know any questions that you may have along the way. Pop them in the chat. We'll come back to them as well. If you cannot pop them in the chat, then please leave me. I'll go into my bio if you're on Instagram, because I know that this video, when I click stop, it somehow disappears all the comments. So send me an email or send me a DM and I'll make sure I come to you as well. So captaining your own ship is a call out to all of the control freaks out there. So to all the mums, all the busy working women who feel that they've inherited the control because they have to do it all. We are so busy trying to do it all that we are stepping away from those moments of compassion with ourselves, those moments of being present with our kids, and the moments of allowing our guard to come down and being taken care of. Hands up in the comments if you currently feel that you are not being taken care of, whether it's by your partner, your family, your wherever it is, or by yourself. Please let me know in the comments, because over the last 6 months, I have gone from feeling like no one is there to take care of me. Who is going to help me on the days when it's really hard? No one just even understands me. It's really, really important, okay, that we feel like we can allow ourselves to peel back and sink in and be taken care of, because living in that masculine energy, remember the last 2 days we've spoken, really is not healthy for us. We cannot live in that controlled process because we are given a gift of intuition that goes hand in hand with feminine energy. And if we don't live in our feminine energy and we are too much masculine, we start drowning out that sound of our intuition. We listen to our head voice more. Our head voice comes from a space of keeping us safe, keeping us comfortable, and not in a growth mindset. I speak a lot about growth and fixed mindset in Activate Your Feminine CEO. Okay, I speak a lot about feminine energy, and I'm actually going to drop a little snippet of what my workbook will look like in session 1, okay, and understanding the masculine and feminine energies, okay, really delving into the wound and feminine. So if this is something that you want to know more about, pop a comment in and make sure you're on tomorrow's live, because there is a great giveaway coming on Friday, but there is also a great special for the doors being open tomorrow. Keep my circles really small, so if you miss out this time, I record the sessions for you, but I don't know what comes out of my mouth, and they're really gold. So please don't hesitate, jump on in. So when you think about lack of accountability, when you think of someone not doing their job, when you think about the heaviness of, yesterday we spoke about high expectation. What does that look like for you? Okay, does lack of accountability look like for busy mums? We get stuck in the detail, we get stuck in the doing, that we forget and we lose track of the fun. We don't indulge in the get to. We don't indulge in the intimacy, the sensuality, the fun, the presence, because we get stuck in the have to mindset. We have a lot of to do, and I get that. I'm a mum of 2 very busy little boys who is thanking God that this trip footy training is cancelled tonight. But I'm very busy and I understand that. But I also make sure I prioritize my time. I also make sure I prioritize habits, effective habits, and effective communication with myself, so that the people around me, okay, get the best version of me that is not filled with fear, regret, resentment. Okay, she's filled with so much love and compassion because she's given that to herself first. So I've taken full accountability for that. I know what it takes for the best version of me to present herself every day. The best version of me must move her body every day. Haven't gone to the gym today. And if you look outside, I'm probably not going to get there either. Okay, but I will do something here. Okay, and if it's not physically moving my body, then I'll move my mind. So it's about having effective habits, taking accountability for the excuses you tell yourself. You do actually have time. You do actually have the energy. The I can't be bothered don't sit well with me, because you can get off your ass and do something. And the conversations and the things that I hear people say, I can't be bothered, I don't have time, yet you're spending time involving yourself either in gossip, either on your phone, away from something that is setting your soul on fire. Is that really getting to you to where you want to be? Or are you just living a life because that's what previous generations have done? Have you really taken that brave step to say, I deserve better. I want something more. I don't know what it is yet, but I feel like this doesn't serve me anymore. Take accountability for you. I've said this before, and a beautiful friend of mine, I didn't catch her live yet, I will, Jodie Spinks, said today, gave a little bit of tough love in her live. So when I listened to it, no one, and sorry, Jodes, I'm not copywriting, I'm just going to mention you in there as well. No one is coming to save you. You must do it yourself. No one is going to get your ass off the couch. No one is going to tell you it's going to be okay, pat you on the back, sweetheart, here's a coffee. Get up, move your body, tell yourself these excuses that are in here are just excuses. They're preventing the money coming in. They're preventing that relationship you're wanting and craving, whether it's with yourself or somebody. They're preventing that safe sanctuary feeling that you are wanting your home to be, because you're giving it away. You're telling yourself you don't, you've written yourself off before you've even gotten to it. And you're telling yourself the excuses that you may have told when you were 15, 16, 30. You know, how many times are you going to keep repeating that pattern? We spoke about it yesterday and on Monday as well. You must take accountability to break the pattern. Okay, the circumstances we find ourselves into, yes, some of us don't have a choice and we've found ourselves in this situation. Okay, but you need to take accountability of where your future is going. Do you want to continue the inherited stories that has been passed down to you? Do you want to continue the scarcity? Do you want to continue the fearfulness of I don't have enough? Or do you want to live a little bit carefree? Do you want to see what happens? Do you want to live in your feminine? Do you want to live in your growth? Do you want to listen to your soul? Because you need to take accountability for your actions. Okay, own up to your own crap. You would love for your kids to take accountability if they did something wrong or they weren't living their best life. So you need to have that accountability with you too. Setting boundaries and tolerances with yourself is the first and most important step you can have. You are never, ever going to have those boundaries set with other people. You're always going to have them float back and break down simply because you haven't told them with yourself. Okay. The future version of you, remember Monday, fork in the road, mundane, amazing, fairy lights. Remember that, go back and watch the session. What control is she taking? What boundaries does she set? What has she admitted to herself? What accountability has she taken? Has she done the work and gone, oh, I was horrible? You know, I've gone through a huge change in my life. I did contribute to some of that. I admit that. That's the accountability I've taken. But that's okay. I'm not the victim. I'm a creator. I've admitted what's happened and I've dealt with it, and I'm creating a brand new future. My future version of me with my family, my boys, my partner, my husband, all of the things that I want is there because I've decided to own up to the crap I've been telling myself. All of the problems that come up require us to have a solution that is coming from our soul. And we need to be honest with our soul because it's that feeling. You can tell yourself you're tired, you'll do it tomorrow. It's wet outside, it's 2 degrees, it's raining, it's hailing, whatever. This will go, okay, you've deserved a break. Your soul will go, oh, really? Okay. And then if you are already feeling stuck, if you are already feeling unseen and unheard, when you don't take that action, when you are not accountable for yourself, you blend in even further. You decide not to wear bright pink on a live. You decide to wear grey. You decide to follow the Melbourne trend of black and grey and white. You don't wear colour because the fears are then saying that someone might see you. Do you really need them to see you? You haven't done what we've promised ourselves we were going to do. So captaining your own ship starts with you. Okay, you can't expect your kids to respect you, to speak to you in the best way, to have boundaries, to honor you, to love you if you are not doing all of those things for yourself. Set the tone of how you want to be spoken to. Set the tone of what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. There is a way I've learned across the years of telling people that they're probably not so great at that particular point, but it's the way you deliver it. You can tell someone the most constructive feedback in the most nurturing, calm, motherly way, and they will thank you for it. Or you can be a bull at a gate and just say it, don't mean anything by it, and just brush it off, and they're sitting there hurt. Okay, effective communication, I've said this all week, starts with you. Okay, the way to get rid of all of these problems, the way to get out of all these, find solutions to the lack that you might be feeling, whether you don't have time, whether you don't have freedom that you perhaps are craving, all starts by taking accountability and taking that brave step. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I do know where I don't want to be, and I do know who I don't want to be with. Spending my time and sitting at tables that people that just don't inspire me, the people that don't get me. Okay, I was reliable in my corporate career for many, many years. And now I get to live this beautiful, sustainable life that keeps my mental health safe, that keeps my body physically strong, that I don't feel guilty for anymore. I don't feel guilty for working from home. I don't feel guilty for taking the kids going to the gym. I don't feel guilty for catching up with my husband during the week for a coffee and lunch. No way. I earned that right. Okay, that is the tolerance level that I set. That is the respect, the respect I have with myself. So if I want everyone to treat me like this, I need to treat me like this first. And that is what captaining your own ship starts with. The ship starts with you. Okay, your morals, your groundings, your intentions, the way you show up every day sets the tone for what people will come. Do I get judged by people who don't get me? Every single day. Are there people that have a crack and say that I'm a lady of leisure? I do. But they're not understanding the work that I'm doing. They don't understand that I actually do my work. And because I'm effective with my habits, because I'm so organized, I make sure I do my work in certain parts of the day. I make sure I load my week heavy at the start of the week when I know my concentration is best. This is the power I go through in Activate Your Feminine CEO. Okay, this is the power I hand to women on a beautiful platter when they work with me in this next 6-week course. Jump on tomorrow, you're going to love it. Hear more about it. I'm going to go through what the course will be. I have worked out my optimal working hours. I have worked out how to structure my weeks because I felt out of control. I felt reliable, and I felt that everyone thought I was a joke. So for my mindset and the well, watch me mindset that I have, because I'm a little bit feisty, an extroverted introvert that's a little feisty, okay, will show you. And let me show you how that works for me. I have the same amount of time as you in everything. I run multiple businesses from home with 2 boys that have sport every day. But I've structured my days. I don't get distracted, and my procrastination levels have gone down because I tolerate nothing. I do not tolerate bad behavior. I do not tolerate disrespectful behavior towards me or anybody because I don't allow me to talk to me like that. Okay. It's allowed me to let go of that guilt and that resentfulness that I had. It allowed me to really just sink into, wow. And I spoke about this on Monday. My get to mindset is the strongest it's ever been. And that's coming out of 2 years of COVID too, where I thought I was being taken for granted. I'd lost all of my control. I was blending in. Definitely wasn't wearing hot pink on those days, I tell you that much. Okay, so it's really, really important that your tolerance levels and you package it all up every day. So what does it mean when I just said I am intentional about what I do? What does that mean? It's intentional is not deliberate. So it's not malice, it's not deliberate. I'm intentionally showing up every day to be the best version of me. It means that I am a lot calmer. It means that our mornings run a lot smoother. And it means that I have more time on the couch with the kids at night rather than doing things because, oh my gosh, what if it fails? What if I don't do that thing today? What if I don't get the lunches done? What if? It doesn't matter. So I want to ask you some of these questions, and I'm going to pop them in the email that you will get. If you have registered for this event, you get a copy of this recording because the recording is going to go away next week. So if you really want to have a review of this and you want to get an email with these questions, please leave your email address below, DM me, and I'll make sure it's there for you. For those in Facebook, just comment as well and I'll get it for you. So how would you and your family benefit if you were intentionally brave every day? If you decided, I'm going to go for it with love and compassion, what would that look like? What would improve in your current situations? What could you welcome in? Who could you welcome in? What feelings, what colors, what sounds, and what language would you use? Yeah, imagine that. Imagine having more of a self-love language with yourself, talking to yourself in the most loving way. Imagine looking in the mirror and saying, gosh, look at what I was able to do today. I'm proud of me because it's really, really important to stop the criticism in your self-language, self-talk with yourself, because you then stop all the other criticisms coming. You come a little bit braver, your armor comes a little bit stronger too. And then what does your ideal day like? If you could live intentionally in your ideal day, what would you do? Now, it might be freedom, it might be adventure, it might be working, okay? Take intentional steps towards that. You never know what's ahead unless you give it a go. Yeah, it all seems scary at the start. If you have this great idea that you want to kick off and you don't know how, just ask a question, because everyone is connected to somebody and that can help you. Imagine if you didn't have that, ask that question, what would happen? You're only being held back by what's in your head. Follow your heart. Okay, it's really important to follow your heart voice. And that's where being brave is. Yeah, if you believe in yourself, if your self-belief is so, so strong, you will hear the doubts. You will get to a point like where I am now. You will hear the doubt. You will hear the judgment. You will hear the opinion. And you'll say, thank you. Nothing else. You do not need to rebut that conversation, have a crack, justify anything. Thank you. Because if you are so strong in your self-belief that you know what you want and the vision that you hold in your soul and in your head and your heart of where you are going, no one else has that vision. You could describe it, write it down, get an artist to paint that picture, but somehow it's never going to be what's inside your head. You're the only one who has that thought, that process, that vision, that idea in your head. Go for it. Go for it, because you do not want to live with regrets. Okay, don't come along to 30 years time and go, gosh, I wish I had that idea. Gosh, wish I had asked that person. And if you're scared to ask the person, then perhaps they're not your person. Okay, that's the self-belief that you would. And if they're not your person, find your people. Just be a little brave every day. Okay, be a little bit brave. What would that do? Who could you talk to? Who would you approach? Who could you email? Who could you message? Where would that lead? Do you have an idea you're sitting on? Do you have an adventure you're wanting to do? Do you have a bucket list item that you haven't started yet? All right. Just start it. But have boundaries with yourself. Love yourself so immensely that whatever the criticism, whatever judgments are coming, you're not going to hear it from them. You'll just say thank you. That's why having boundaries with yourself in your tolerance levels, knowing exactly what you don't want to feel. So forget about your why. Forget about that. Scrub that out. Forget about how. And all I want you to know is know where you don't want to be and know how you don't want to feel. Don't worry about how you want to feel in the future or trying to project. Know exactly where you don't want to be and what you don't want to feel. Because once you listen to the voices and once you've felt where you don't want to be, you hit this baseline. And every time you move forward and you are triggered, you go, oh, I don't like this feeling. This is a place I don't want to be at. I am someone who is recovering from burnout, anxiety, and depression. So I get triggered a lot. Yeah. My head voice doesn't speak as loud as it used to, but it still speaks louder than my heart voice. Okay. I'm learning that role reversal. The fears keep me comfortable. The fears will keep you safe. And it will also keep you across that ravine from where you want to go. How do you build that bridge? How do you get there? And it starts by getting immersed with somebody who's going to help you gently come out of that shell. You need to set that example with yourself first. So you've got to decide that you want better. You've got to decide that the current struggle that you are feeling right now does not deserve a place in where you are going. You don't want to feel that. Just simply decide that this is not how you want to feel anymore. Once you've hit that point, it is a lot easier to then come back. Okay, it's a lot easier to start opening that door and getting underneath that feeling of why you don't want to feel like that. How do you want to feel going forward? What does it look like, smell like, taste like, feel, color, sound? Really important. Okay, that tolerance level is super, super important. That boundary will save you from being in places you don't want to be. That boundary will save you from sitting at tables where people are just going to have a crack. make you reliable, do things you don't want to do. Having that boundary will save your energy like there is no tomorrow. Okay, and you'll start learning and forming and cultivating of all these 100 people that you have. You will start cultivating an inner circle, which is what I help women do in Activate Your Feminine CEO. We cultivate inner circles. Okay, this is where onions come into it. So we're not making sauce. We are not making anything to do with that. I want you to think of it. Next time you are cutting up an onion, look inside. How many rings do you see in an onion? If you are, and this is where we lead into tomorrow, of do you give until there is nothing left? You are the sweetest part of the onion in the middle. That should be you at your rawest form, of your silliest, your funniest, your most nurturing. You in your absolute feminine energy. Forget about flowy dresses. Feminine energy, your nurturing, your mothering, your calm, your sexiness, your playfulness is all in that middle of the onion, and every other layer comes out from that. You must stop giving the sweetest part of your onion to everybody you meet. Stop telling strangers your whole life story and then wondering why everyone walks away from you. You feel disappointed, you resent people, you feel drained by their energy. Stop it. How many times have you had a conversation with someone that just blurts everything out and you literally just met them and you walk away like, that is like 10 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back? You feel drained. Do not be that to everybody else. The sweetest part of your onion, the drop of your ripple effect, is you. You need to protect that. And I teach women to cultivate an inner circle that protects that sweetest part. These 5 people are going to be the people that hold your highest intentions. These 5 people are going to tell you what you need to hear. The days you don't want to move your ass, you're going to be told to get your butt to the gym, go for a walk. Have you set that intention? Have you written that goal down? Have you made that call? Have you sent that message to that client? Have you? These are the people. Every other layer should get a different version of you. No, everybody should not get that inner version of you. That inner version, the part of me that is at my rawest, max 10 people in this entire planet get. 10. That's it. And they're the people that I let my guard down with. They're the people that get the quirkiness that goes, oh, she's banana cakes. Like absolutely lost her marbles. The funniness, the absolute tomboy in me, the girly me. They see me at my inner best and my absolute worst. I put on a very great front. What you see here, once this makeup comes off, once the camera goes away, depending who I'm meeting, gets a different version of me. And you have to work your way through each layer, and I decide who gets the better version of me. That is the boundary I set. Because for many years I was taken advantage. Many years I produced work that people took and made their own. For many years I wasn't granted and acknowledged. So now I don't have that. I show up every day. I am authentic. I am real. I am direct. I am passionate. But everyone gets a different version of me. There are very, very few people in this planet that get this rawest version of me. I'm proud of that. I don't shy away from that. That is the work that you need to get to. You need to start cultivating an inner circle and cultivating the rings around your onion of who gets the best version of you. Because if you are giving everything to everybody, and we're going to go through this in much more detail tomorrow, you're getting nothing done. You are actually doing it at a detriment to yourself. Yeah. So does that make sense? I'll put it into a fruit and veg session. Okay. Must keep the sweetest part of the fruit for you and for those that you really cherish in your life. Those that you feel safe with get the sweetest part. Not everyone, strangers shouldn't be getting the middle part of the onion. They should be getting the yucky, flaky bits on the outside. And then you decide which part they progress through. Okay, that's the boundaries. Not just saying, no, I'm being a cow. That's not a boundary. Deciding who actually gets versions of you is a boundary. Huge boundary. Okay. Once you learn what to tolerate in life, what you learn to let go changes your whole perspective on everything. everything. And in Activate Your Feminine CEO, this is something we go through. We go through understanding how our feminine energy needs to come out more, how we need to listen to our intuition, how our habits are formed every day, okay, and how we take it and our boundaries are set so that the people that matter most to us get us at our very, very best. Okay, so we stop giving those people that mean the world to us our very, very worst. And we come home and we succumb and we allow people to take care of us, because as busy, independent women, we do not do that. We need to do that more, because if you do not allow people to take care of you, you are at risk of burnout. No one gives a shit how many loads of washing you've managed to do the day, and if dinner was put on the table made from scratch. Stop moving away from that competitive world of being good enough. You're killing yourself, burning yourself out, trying to be something that your family don't even really give a shit about. They just want you in your rawest form, the best version of you. So I help women do that. Okay, so if you're feeling stuck, jump in tomorrow's session. We're going to really go into deep depth with this tomorrow. If we stop giving everything to everyone and having nothing left for us. I'm going to share a lot more about a great personal story to share tomorrow. And we open the doors to Activate Your Feminine CEO. There is a beautiful 3-day offer. And then on Friday, I'm giving away a brilliant $500 off to a very special person who's been interacting this whole way through to come and work with me, because we do deserve the help. We do deserve the guidance, and I'm here to help that. So ladies, I trust that this has been incredible. Please drop your questions in the comments. If you have any comments about onions, okay, and how do we make sure that we protect the inner version of us, please let me know. I'm going to go through those comments and we'll discuss them on Monday's call. Okay, we'll break it all down for you too. So I trust that this has been amazing. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe. And we'll speak to you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Have the best day. Bye, guys.